Donald Trump has less than 1 month left in office, but you cannot accuse him of being a lame duck president. In fact, he's been quite the opposite of late, very busy, even around Christmas. After much back and forth, the President of the United States signed a $2.3 trillion bill to fund the US government. This bill also had something for China, something that China would not like. Donald Trump has signed a bill into law, a bill that backs the Free Tibet movement. It says Washington should build an international coalition for the rights of Tibetans. The bill also calls for a US consulate in Tibet. This law spells out America's new policy on Tibet, a policy that steps on China's toes. On Gravitas tonight, we'll tell you what America plans to do, why China does not like any of it, and where India stands in the new Tibet game. So first things first, what is the new American law? It is called the Tibetan Policy and Support Act of 2020. Let me tell you what it says. Point number one, it makes 5 broad points. Let's start with point number 1. It talks about the next Dalai Lama. Who will it be? Who will choose him or her? The United States says Tibetans have the right to pick the next Dalai Lama, not the Chinese state. Beijing cannot dictate its choice. So according to this new law, if China announces the next Dalai Lama, America will not recognize him or her. This will not go down well with China. It hasn't, in fact. Let's come to point number 2, the rights of Tibetans. America wants to build an international coalition, a coalition that will recognize and safeguard the interests of Tibetans. Again, the perfect way to needle China. Point number 3, sanctions. This bill says that America will sanction Chinese officials if they try to appoint the next Dalai Lama, which includes economic and visa sanctions. Point number 4, a US consulate in Tibet, something that gives America strategic access to this region. The new law says America will build a consulate in Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. What if China does not agree to all of this? The bill has an answer. China will not be allowed to open any new consulates in the United States until America is allowed to have a consulate in Tibet. Point number 5, the role of civil society. The US bill wants to empower NGOs. It will assist organizations that support Tibetan communities in Tibet. By the way, do you know, China too has NGOs. They're called GONGOs, G-O-N-G-O. That's government organized, non-governmental organization. Talk about oxymorons. Anyway, coming back to the US bill, what Donald Trump has signed is a set of unprecedented measures, and they are enforceable by law in America. What happens when Donald Trump leaves office? No change, hopefully. There is bipartisan support for action against China. This bill was passed unanimously by the US Senate last week. What about China? How does it view America's new law? Not favorably, of course. The wolf warrior in chief is the face of Chinese response.
China noticed the relevant bills signed by the US, bills related to Tibet, and firmly opposes them. The Tibet issue concerns China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. It purely belongs to China's internal affairs and does not allow any external forces to interfere. The Chinese government is unwavering in its determination to safeguard its national sovereignty and national security and to develop in its own interests.
So note his words. Sovereignty and territorial integrity, he says. External forces interfering in internal affairs. Coming from China, this is a bit rich. Even as these words were spoken, China continued to challenge India's territorial sovereignty and integrity in Ladakh. That standoff is very much on. Even as the statement came from Beijing, China continued to interfere in the domestic politics of Nepal. They've sent a senior official to Kathmandu to interfere. China's transgressions are serious and many. And every time it is questioned, its defense is one, the one China policy, Beijing's favorite go-to argument. So here's some breaking news for China. America has dumped that one China policy. And it may be just a matter of time before others follow suit. As of today, this is just an American law. It applies to America. It cannot be legally enforced on any other country, and yet it's a powerful message to China. It says 3 things basically. 1, that there is bipartisan consensus in Washington for Tibet and against China. 2, American lawmakers are ready to provide legal backing for decisions against China. They have done here. And 3, Now this is a law, it must be enforced. So whatever Joe Biden's stand on China be, he'll have to follow this law. He called the Indo-Pacific Asia-Pacific. That's what he's done. But he cannot change the stand on Tibet without changing this law. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.